day here on Southern Gulf Islands. Current temperature around 12 degrees Celsius, so nothing to write home about, but it is nice working with. So it's 12 degrees Celsius in the shade. It always feels a little bit warmer in the sun. And you know how far north we are. So don't you think this far north we should be covered in snow? I think so. Anyway, like I say, folks, join in. Don't be shy. Happy Easter Monday. I'm going to go as far as I can without this live stream dying on me. I don't want to go too far from the house, because if I'm too far from the house, it ain't going to work. So there we are. And I hope everybody had a happy Easter. It's been great here. Like I say, the weather has been very dry. March was extremely dry. And it looks like April's turning out that way too. Very, very dry. And we've been watering a lot of watering. And we've been busy in the palm nursery at this time of the year. A lot of potting up palms. We're stepping up palms from 1 gallons. We're putting them in 2s and 5s. Plants that desperately need it, right? So I'm just going to sit here because it's nice and warm in the sun. And I'll let you guys comment. I see one comment in there. Hey, how's it going? Anna from Limerick.
Oh, cool.
Good to see you in there.
That's Ireland, right?
Ireland. Ireland, that's a cool place to be. I've never been to Ireland, but Wendy's been to, I think Wendy's been to Limerick, Ireland. I've never been to Europe yet. Maybe one of these days when all of this craziness passes, we can go traveling again. But in the meantime, we are stuck here on this island in the North Pacific. And which, like Wendy and I said, it's okay to be stuck on this island in the North Pacific. It's a good place to be. If I had to be stuck anywhere in Canada, I'm not going to complain being on the Southern Gulf Islands, right? You know what I mean? You just have to look around. We were down on the beach today, and we walked down the beach, did a little beach combing, picked up a little driftwood, picked up a few rocks for the garden, and we went for a coffee. There's a coffee shop down the road from us about, I don't know, maybe about a 3-4 minute drive south of here. And it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. We're way up on the very north end of the island here, so it's very, very quiet all the time. And we actually have people staying at the B&B right now. We had people check out this morning at one of our B&Bs, and the other B&B has somebody in it. I think they're checking out tomorrow. So there's a few tourists around, but people don't seem to be traveling as much these days. Mostly local traffic here at our accommodation. And if you like gardens, then, come and visit. Stay in the B&B if you come to Salt Springs. There's a lot of B&Bs on Salt Spring Island, but if you like exotic gardens, you'd probably like our B&B because it is completely surrounded by exotic gardens and plants, right? As you can see behind me. And I'd go down to the front, but the guy might be there. The B&B guest might be in the front garden sitting on the sun deck. I just want to show you the clematis now. Armanda, extremely fragrant. Lit up, you can see the Jane. Hello, Jane. Did your package arrive yet? I'm guessing not. I don't think your package arrived yet, but I did send you the package because Jane was the lucky winner of the YouTube draw. But anyway, you can see the clematis Armandi behind me right there on Gallery 59, right there. That's Gallery 59. That's the art gallery. And we'll get a little closer to it. And it's kind of covering up the Aloha sign. There's the Aloha sign right up in there. You can see. But the little gallery is covered with Clematis armandi, and it goes right over the roof and over to the other side, which is really nice. So like Jane says, we have to try a hardy koa tree here, or maybe even an acacia tree in this garden. We have a lot of other really cool plants in this garden. And you know, the arbutus trees, some of them are blooming. I went hiking on Saturday. Oh, nice. And there's so many places to hike in Hawaii. I love it. I mean, the only places I've really hiked in Hawaii is up in the Manoa Hills, through Lion Arboretum, and then up to the Manoa Falls. Of course, I did it in my flip-flops. You know what I mean? They said to wear great footwear, you know, adequate footwear, but I wear flip-flops. When I'm in Hawaii, I live in flip-flops. And actually, when I'm not working, when the weather's better, I like to wear flip-flops here, too. So I'm going to show you some Japanese Camellia japonica. You see right in there, the camellias are blooming. There's some beautiful flowers. I don't know if you can see that. And then here, you can see those cordylines there. I went to Small Ridge and found koa. Oh, cool. Love wild koa trees. Well, I don't know of any koa trees growing here yet. Any source for hibiscus? Yeah, probably the nurseries here have them, Benjamin, I'm sure. There's some nice nurseries on Salt Spring Island, and they sell some pretty exotic plants. So here's a nice yucca. You got to try, right? There's a Yucca gigantea. right there. And I'll show you our bluest palm, which you've seen videos of. Right there behind me. What does that say? Got a prickly pear. Did you get a prickly pear? Cool. There's a bunch of cactus down in here. I'll get down low so you can see some of the cacti growing in this cactus patch. There's some agaves too. And there's agave americana here. We'll get over here and you can see the sun. There's agave americana. There's a Mexican blue palm there behind me. They grow pretty slow here. There's the Chinese cycad, and you know, I moved it to this location. It's been moved a couple of times now, so it's going to stay at this location. The slugs were eating the new fronds off it. It's got a pretty good sized trunk on it, but the slugs absolutely love it. So hopefully they won't eat it at this location. But yeah, prickly pear, there's some really hardy cactus around, and we grow a lot of cactus. This is one of our cactus patches here. And we have cactus also at the back of the house too. It's hard to see with the sun in the coming in here. What does this say? Benjamin, sadly the prickly pear is wrinkled next week, going back to nursery again. Oh, peria, yeah. Agave are great. So there's agave here. And what is Jane? Koa trees growing in mountains tolerate frost. See, those might have a chance here, Jane. I think they might have a chance. That would be really cool. To have a koa tree here would be awesome. You can see the pittosporum there. And then there's oleanders there. Wendy chopped those back last year to make them thicker. So there's nerium oleander, and then there's more agave down in here, and there's a bunch of agaves in there too. But yeah, I definitely got to try a koa tree here in a nice sheltered spot in our garden. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? It really would be. I think there is a hope in heck that it might survive here a few winters. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's long term, but koa, I mean, at 7,000 feet, it's got to get somewhat cold up there. I don't know how cold it gets, so that's the thing. How cold does it get at 7,000 feet? I mean, the coldest temperature I've recorded here was just around 18. It was actually 18.1, I think, Fahrenheit. Oak is another ultra hardy exotic. Willow oak. Look, yeah, willow oak. So there's another Australian plant too. Maybe that's the one. It's a grevillea, I think. Macer. Koa trees near the tree line. Yeah. So the highest elevation trees of good provenance may survive here at this location on Salt Spring. But yeah, it's different all over Salt Spring Island, that's for sure. Maybe low in Tofino. Yeah, the lowest I ever recorded here, like I say, was just over 18 degrees, 18.1. So I just say 18 degrees. But here's the back of the place, the way it's looking. It gets frost 6,000 foot. Wow. Yeah, our last frost here, and I've told you this before, you guys, this year was February 14th. We haven't had any frost here at this end of the island since February 14th. So, and we haven't had a lot of frost here anyway. We've had, you know, just a handful of frosts here. And like I said, the most severe frost we had was 27.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So you guys can figure that out in Celsius. I think that's like minus 2.7 or minus 2.4. Something like that. So not that bad. We don't have any winter damage on anything in our garden here. Everything looks good. And I'm very impressed with our Queen Palm Cross Butia. And I had a friend here, Scott, my friend was here looking at it. And he said, yeah, looks really good. There's no damage on it. So what I did, as you saw in my video, I just put a few steel metal stakes around, put a plastic bag over top of it, clear plastic bag, and it seemed to do the trick. So hopefully it will continue to go a few more years. I planted it in February 2018. It's native to South. Yeah, we have lots of hibiscus in the garden. I don't think we have that one though. I'll show you the hibiscus, and they're not even leafed out yet. Wendy's got a lot of hibiscus. Wendy's got Rose of Sharon. I think those are actually native to China, somewhere in Asia. These ones are, Jane, planting koa at high elevations are challenging for frost killing young trees. So we got to get so they need frost protection, Jane's saying. This is hibiscus here. So hibiscus don't really look like anything now. See, they're just budding out. And there's two hibiscus bushes here, and then we have more around the garden. I didn't plant them. Wendy planted them. I think I planted some in the lower garden. We have some in the lower garden too. So, but anyway, it is a beautiful, beautiful day here on Salt Spring, and it's good gardening weather. I just finished planting another Clematis armandi with Wendy. Maybe canary can be long term. Yeah, if you protect them in the bad winters, then it probably would be. But in a bad winter, if you don't protect it, I've seen one growing. My friend planted one in Ganges along the boardwalk. I think it was around 1998. And what had happened in December 2008, we had a bad freeze and it took it out, but it never got protected. It was growing right beside the ocean. So, and actually at the dentist office, there was one as well. Elevation or undamaged and grow up to the tree line. Mature trees are cool. See, that's where I need to get the seed from, Jane. I need to smuggle some back next time I go to Hawaii. When and if I go to Hawaii, I would try it. I'm game to trying it for sure. Zone 8B. Okay, so this area is Zone 9A on most part, but every so often we fall back into Zone 8B in a bad winter. We can fall back into the high end of Zone 8B. And the last time we did that, like I say, was December 2008. But there's lots of Zone 9 plants that actually grow here and have been growing here for a long time. I wish I could go down to the front deck and show you the tree fern. It's looking just pretty much awesome. I could try walking a little bit farther into the garden and hopefully not too far from the wireless router that it's going to crap out. So if I start to die my signal, I'm going to have to go back again. I meant hybrid does have, yeah, I don't know if there is I've never seen a hybrid dactylifera and a canariensis, but I'm sure it probably exists. So follow me this way and we will go down through. It's like a jungle when you come through here, right? There's lots of palms. And here's the tiki tribe, right? It's the tikis. I'm still getting a connection. There's some vivax timber bamboo there. There's a few in England, yeah. So I mean, with protection, it probably would work, Benjamin. Cold Blackwood Mountains in the same conditions, mountainous rainforest, Jane. Cool. That's awesome, Jane. That is awesome. Well, if I can get seeds, like I say, I will try. Here's a Camarops humilis, one of many. We have a lot of Camarops humilis palms in the ground. I'm going to go down to the front here. Our yard is frickin' massive. We have acreage, so it's big, right? It's just huge. Like, to look through our garden, if you're going to come on a garden tour, it takes about an hour to see our garden. That's how big this garden is, right? So, and anyway, we'll go this way, and I can make it to the front of the house. Hopefully I'm not going to die out. There you go, Jane. That's just for you. Aloha ikomo mai. And you can see the sago palms there. It is a beautiful day. There's a chance you can grow coal. Well, Jane, I would try. So I think what I'd have to do when I go to Hawaii next time, I'm going to have to mail the seed back to Salt Spring Island. So let's go down to the lower deck. The B&B guest is out right now. All right. We're going to spin around here so you can see what's going on. Here's Heteromelies, our beautifolia tree I grew from seed years ago. That flowers, that's a California holly. And then you can see the kumquats. See the kumquats on here. And then go down here. Hopefully the signal's still going. I don't want to die. You can see what's going on back here, okay? What's up, Joe Sander? How's it going? Went up to 15 today and no freezing nighttime temps. That's a good thing. Yeah, we're about 12 right now in the shade. But it feels a lot warmer in the sun. So you got to remember, high temperatures are recorded in the shade, right? So we're going to spin around on this. This is the B&B sun deck, and I'm going to get out of here before Mr. B&B guest comes back. There's a Latticectus behind me there. That's Trachycarpus latticectus. And then here's the Dicksonia antarctica. Here, see the tree fern right here. This is one of our tree ferns. And this tree fern I planted in April 1994. And this one has a pretty good size trunk on it, right? And you can see the Chamaedorea radicalis there. And then protect koa seedlings from early morning sun in winter. I could do that. I mean, we have lots of areas on our property and lots of different microclimates here too. So there's areas that it might stand a chance. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's really nice out here, Sander. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a native dogwood, Cornus datilii, and that one's going to bloom soon too. So this is the B&B deck, okay? This is where the B&B guests hang out. And we have an upper B&B too, so we have two accommodations. You can see in the back here, way in the back, there's a Stevenson screen. There's a weather box way in the back there. And that's where the bananas are down there. They're shooting up leaves right now. But look at these fatsias. I mean, these fatsia trees are awesome. So this is where the cedar used to be that Wendy had cut down. And then we have a massive bamboo grove here. It's all bamboo. Lots of bamboo in there. The growing season starts now. I plant my prickly pear in a few weeks. Yes, you should plant it. Plant that. Plant the prickly pear. This is all bamboo. Chicoisia gigantea died off. It went to flower, unfortunately, but there's a lot of different varieties down there. There's southern magnolias. And then you can see the laurel trees over there. Those ones I grew 30 years ago from cuttings. They're up there. And they're about, well, they're pretty tall. This is bay tree. I'm glad this is working down here. This is Laurus nobilis. We have a lot of them. They self-seed. This is tanbark oak. And then you can see the date palms in here. And the one in the ground did okay with a nursery bucket over top of it. Yeah, it wasn't 12 at night here. This morning was cool. It was 5. I think our low temperature was around 5.5, something like that. So it was cool at night, but still there's no chance of frost at this end of the island. But I'll tell you one thing, there are areas of Salt Spring Island that are definitely getting frost. I know that. And tomorrow when I go to work, I've had 4 days off because of Easter. Tomorrow when I go to work, I would not be surprised if there's going to be frost on the Parks truck. And if there's frost on the Parks truck, I will show you guys, okay? You guys will see it in a video. So anyway, you can see everything here. This is good. Go a little bit farther out. I'm still getting, looks like I'm still getting reception here. There's the eucalyptus stumps behind me, right? And a whole mix mash of everything here. So I'm giving you guys a garden tour. You guys are on a garden tour with me right now, right? We'll walk back through the garden. And it's a lot different in here without the eucalyptus trees, I tell you, because I used to have these towering eucalyptus trees casting a lot more shade in here. And you know what? I'm not missing them. I'll show you. There's another eucalyptus stump. See that right there? Another eucalyptus stump there. Eucalyptus stumps everywhere. So, and here's another bay tree. This one's ready to bloom. You can see the flower buds on it. That's the Laurus nobilis, your cooking bay. You throw that in your stews or your pasta sauce. This is another nice plant to grow. This is Nandina domestica, heavenly bamboo. So most everything we grow here is evergreen, right? So it looks the same 365 days of the year. And that's the key if you want a really tropical-like looking garden. Yeah, I think it's better without the trees myself too. You know what? I'm kind of burnt out from the eucalyptus trees. And you know, we have a lot. We still have a ton of eucalyptus trees. These ones I cut the tops off. You've probably seen the videos. There's the top of it up there. And they'll sprout back again. Cut the tops off of those ones. And I'm going to get over here. I wonder if you can see the sable miners. Some of our sable miners. There's sable miners here. You can see there and over there. And there's Camarops in there as well, right? So lots of different, there's a Trachycarpus winson there. And then here's a Camarops, nice Camarops. And beside that Camarops, there's seedling. You can plant Camarops as seedlings here. There's a seedling Camarops there. I grew from seed. I got a bunch of them in the greenhouse. I got to pot them up. And then got the seed from Utah. Here is a Camarops humilis cerifera in there. And then there's another Camarops in there. So it's a mixed mash of everything. You know what, folks? This is a really low maintenance garden. There's no grass to cut. We have no lawn to cut. It's just in the summertime, like right now we're in the dry season. So Wendy and I have already been doing a lot of watering for, thanks man, thanks Sandra. It's returned from Charleston, got a bunch of seedlings and saw a manta ray. Cool, manta rays would be awesome. No manta rays around here. We do have some sharks, but there's no manta rays and lots of whales. We have a lot of whales here on Salt Spring Island. There's like the gray whale, and then those humpback whales will cruise through on the way to Hawaii on the outer waters, and actually on the inner waters too. Grevillea willow oak. Is that the one? There's one that's called a willow oak. Is that the Grevillea I'm thinking of? I hear a woodpecker. There's a woodpecker up in one of those trees. Koa will grow at a wide range of habitats in Hawaii. So what Jane is saying, that it has half a chance here at this location on Salt Spring. You can see some of the cordylines here. You plant them small and they will get big. There's another Camarops there. That one I dug out years ago from a place they didn't want it, and the center trunk died. I says, you know what? There's a good chance that palm, the center trunk will die on it. And it did, but all the suckers remained, right? So that what I dug out from a location in town. They didn't want it. It was too close to the building. I stuck it there. It's growing in pretty poor growing conditions, but nevertheless, it does survive. It does keep on growing. And then here's some Here's some cordylines here, more cordylines. And there's some more cordylines here. Wendy's got cordylines all over. Wendy's a cordyline freak. She loves cordylines, right? And yuccas too. And she collects hellebores. And ferns, lots of ferns. I'll show you how the kiwi's doing. I'll go over here. Thanks for joining me on the garden tour. So it's nice doing it on Wendy's channel sometimes because she's got an iPhone and I actually don't own an iPhone. I just have the work iPhone. Yeah, it's neat having a large yard as long as you don't have a lawn and you don't have to mow a whole bunch of lawn, Benjamin, because mowing lawn would take a long time. And we like to concentrate on the garden. Willow oak species. So we have evergreen oak here. Oh, this is a cool plant right here. This one you'd really like. This is an evergreen maple. Okay, so this is a flowering maple. It's not actually an acer, it's an abutilon. And abutilon is pretty tall. It's actually taller than this palm now, but it's got flower buds on it here. You can see the flower buds on it there. It has the most beautiful flowers on that evergreen maple. It is a subtropical plant. I planted this 20 years ago, 2001, I got this. And the flowers are just the most exotic flowers you will ever see. I'll show you our pittosporum. Here's a pittosporum tree right here. This is pittosporum, and that got really nice flowers on it too. There we go. Let's see if I can reconnect. Come on. There we go. I've reconnected. Sorry, folks. It's funny when I go that far away, it seems to right off, but at the front of the house, it didn't. And then there's the butia. And I'll show you what else we did here. We just planted another pittosporum. Wendy just came home with another pittosporum. This is a super fragrant plant right here. This one here. Really nice, exotic, glossy leaves. And we have other ones in the garden, variegated ones. So pittosporum. Here's some waggies, some smaller waggies. We have bigger waggies in the garden, but there's some smaller waggies I planted last year. And the date palm that we planted last year is doing well with, like I said, the nursery bucket on it. And yeah, I was deprived of light all winter, but it's still doing good. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, Sander. Yeah, well, if you're ever on Salt Spring, come for a visit and we'll show you the back garden. That was kind of the front garden, and you can see the back of it. Duck Killer Clyde, yeah. I'm kicked off of Facebook for a while. You know that, right? Clyde knows that. I'm out. I'm off for another month. No more Facebook for me for another month. They took my account away because I was a bad boy. So I'm in Facebook prison right now. I'm in Facebook jail. Gotta love that, huh? Not the first time. Yeah, Duck Killer Clyde. There it is right there. There's our French doors right there, and you can see some of the exotic by the French doors. What's Jane saying here? Why? I posted something. I shared something, Jane, and it was pertaining to, I'm going to say the Maxine and the Jandemic that's going around the world. You got to watch what you say here because the police are watching, the YouTube police and Facebook police watch. So I just shared it because I was interested to see what other people had to say. And what I shared was not necessarily that I agreed with or disagreed with. I just shared it to my page, and the next thing you know, I'm booted off a Facebook, banned me. Right? That's what they're like, right? So somebody must have complained. I actually shared a video on my wall, on my Banana Joe wall, and it was a YouTube video of a guy going around with a megaphone, which I thought was kind of funny, and I just put on it, it's a crazy world out there. That's all I put. I didn't say I agree with the guy or I disagree, and I was just more interested in reading the comics. The next thing you know, I try to log into Facebook, and it says you're banned. And if you want your account back, we're going to review it, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I think this is the 4th time I've been kicked off of Facebook in 14 years, which isn't the end of the world, right? Because I'm on MeWe, and with MeWe is exactly like Facebook, but it's not censored, and that's the problem. I permanently banned from Facebook. You're permanently. I'm on Twitter. I haven't been banned from Twitter yet, and I'm also on Instagram. Right, so I post a lot of pictures of palm trees on Instagram, and of course I'm here on YouTube. But MeWe, if you're interested, MeWe is just like Facebook, but you can have freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want on MeWe. So you can post whatever you want and you're not going to get kicked off. But Facebook, you got to really watch what you post. And even here on YouTube, you have to really watch what you say and you post because it seems like they're watching. And they censor a lot of stuff. So you can get a warning or you could probably get your channel taken away. So I watch what I say. So I posted that video and I thought it was a super funny video myself. This guy's driving around with a megaphone being sarcastic. And I think, what was it called? Cyclist breaks window of car or something like that. It was crazy. And next thing you know, I'm now banned from Facebook for a month. So if I never get back on, it's you know where to find me. I'm on MeWe and I'm on Twitter and I'm on here too. And we can always get together on YouTube, right? So I haven't been kicked off of YouTube yet, which is probably a good thing. And I'm not going to get kicked off of YouTube. So, but anyway, it looks like they've taken away freedom of speech in some places, which is kind of a bummer, you know. Name the social media. MeWe. 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 That's all it is. Capital M, small e, capital W, and then E. I just served. Oh, you just served a 30-day sentence. Right on. Good for you. I actually had my account taken away one time, you know, because they said my name was fake. So they took my name. They took my account away until I changed my name. They wanted to see my ID that said Banana Joe on it. So I actually had MeWe. We don't do that. Yeah, MeWe. I'm on MeWe too. Anyway, and I do post pictures of palm trees, and I actually have a group on there, people who love palm trees and exotic plants on MeWe. So I have the same group on MeWe as I do on Facebook. So I can post whatever I want in there, and I'm not going to get my.
Bad words on there.
What's that?
Said no bad words.
You can say whatever you. No, I'm not going to. This is Wendy's thing, so I got to watch it.
Yeah,
So
you could get me banned.
that's why I say Maxine and Jandemic.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean? I don't use the words because you got to watch. Because like I say, YouTube police are watching every move we make, and so are Facebook police. And it's getting worse on Facebook, really censoring everything. So I didn't think there was anything wrong with my post. I thought it was funny. And like I said, I don't agree or necessarily disagree. Don't agree or necessarily disagree with what they were saying there. I just posted it as fun, and it obviously offended somebody.
Talk about your nice palm.
We like Wendy on the beach. I like Wendy on the beach too. Wendy on the beach is awesome. Wendy on Little Beach is great. So you can see those videos on Jungle Joe C, but those ones are, and Betty on the beach. Yes, and Betty on the beach is awesome too. Betty, you're awesome. Hey, you know what we had last night? Betty and Wendy. Betty on Wendy, Duck Killer Clyde. Hey, how was your chicken yesterday? We had chicken yesterday too. Wendy made potatoes. She made chicken breast with. She did them in the oven though. She didn't. She did them with shiitake mushrooms and mushroom sauce, and what else did we? And garlic, and potatoes.
And arugula.
The world is run by. Yeah, exactly. Bunch of snowflakes. People get offended too much by everything. See, I don't get offended by stuff, and I'm really not a politically correct guy. So I'm just letting you know I'm a good guy. I'm a decent person, and I get along with everybody. But I just kind of say it like it is. But eating it for supper. Yeah, that's funny, Clyde. Wife doesn't get. Okay, well, you know what? We're having it for supper tonight too. We actually have leftovers for supper, but I think I'm going to make some rice to soak up some of that good mushroom sauce. I love chicken. So she was contemplating. I says, you know what? Clyde and Betty are doing barbecued chicken. Let's do barbecued. And Wendy goes, barbecued. Hey, Palms USA. Good to see you in there, man. We were going to do barbecued chicken, but she ended up doing it in the oven. It was kind of windy yesterday. Barbecue chicken is awesome. And notice how people who get offended by something have a zero relation. Yeah, I know. You know what? You know what happens after you're offended? I always say nothing. So get over it and grow up. Nothing happens after you don't. You know what I mean? Just get over it. I mean, people get offended by everything. You can't even see Merry Christmas to somebody now without them getting offended. Oh no, you can't say that. That's Happy Holidays. You can't say Merry Christmas anymore. It's like, come on, give me a break. So you know what? Happy Easter long weekend. I hope you guys are having a good Easter long weekend. It's Monday, Easter Monday here, my last day off before I go back to work tomorrow. So I'll be back up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Joe, I just got back from Virginia Beach. Oh, cool. I went Pungo. Oh, you went to Pungo Palm Nursery. Sweet. That's awesome. That place has been there for years. They got some big palmettos there. Are those palmettos still at Pungo Palm Nursery? They used to have palmettos. I've known about that place for years and years, and looks like a pretty beautiful place. Virginia Beach would definitely be on my list of places if I ever visit the eastern U.S., the East Coast. Virginia Beach. Yes, we'd have to visit Washington, D.C., South Carolina, North Carolina, all the cool places over there. I just planted a needle palm and so, oh, nice. Right, they'll do very well for you. Palms just say streaming Follies Beach, but oh, cool. Yeah, yesterday I was so busy in the palm nursery, and I did I do a stream yesterday? I think I did a stream yesterday. I did one on Banana JSSI. And so far the stream seems to be going okay because the B&B guest is still in town or somewhere. Maybe he's hiking. He's been out since early this morning. Sometimes B&B guests like to take the ferry and go over to the Big Island and hang out there for the day, and then they come back. So he's checking out tomorrow morning. And next weekend, I'm going to be in a course all day Saturday, so there's going to be no live streaming Saturday unless I do it at night. So from 7 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning, I'm going to be doing my PAL course, firearms course, and so I'll be gone all day. So anyway, it would have been cool to see you live streaming from South Carolina, Camel. That would have been cool. All the palms, all the palmettos. I know there's date palms there. There's a whole bunch of cool palms that grow in South Carolina. Well, you know, up this far north, it's Trachycarpus country. What is Wendy bringing me here?
Nuts, dates.
She's bringing me
apricot.
dates. Oh, nice. Trachycarpus tequila. Oh, nice. I love tequila. Well, we supposedly have some smaller ones in the nursery, but I'm having my doubts. Not at Follies Inn or went home. And I do have a tequila in the seed bag right now in the baggie, but nothing's germinated, so I've never really had a good luck with tequila. So hopefully the ones that the guy sent me from Utah are going to germinate. Somebody said they got theirs to germinate overnight. That's unbelievable. Not trying to go back. 200 miles. Come on, go for it. Man, 200 miles? 200 miles from here, I'd probably be in southern Washington. At least southern Washington state. I'd probably be just about at Portland, Oregon. I bet, eh? Mm-hmm. I can't wait till the borders open up one day. And then I want to go down to the Oregon coast. I miss going to the Oregon coast, so I need to go back to the Oregon coast. But I really need to go back to Hawaii first. Hawaii is on my list, and then we will visit Jane. 200 miles, yeah. Hey, figure it out, you guys. 200 miles will probably get me south of Olympia, Washington. I say from here, Olympia, Washington's got to be close to 200 miles from here, I bet. Don't you think?
I think that's from White Rock.
Logan's back. Hey, Logan, how's it going? Oh, from White Rock? Okay. Well, our islands are south of White Rock, so there you go. White Rock's on the 49th, and we're on the 48th. Southern Washington coast is pretty mild. Inland Washington's not. It gets colder because you're far from the ocean, but southern Washington coast is very mild. It's like the west coast of Vancouver Island. Mild winters, and it's wet, lot of rain. It's a lot drier here on the inner south coast because we're in a rain shadow. The southern Gulf Islands are in a rain shadow, so that's why we get less rain here. Victoria is even drier. Their rate, 28. They can be down 28 inches annually, up to 30 inches, somewhere around there. We're about 30 to 35 on this island. So, but, you know, for March, we had 506 miles between. 506 driving miles. That is a long way. That is a long way. But you know what? It's worth it. That's a good drive driving to Oregon because I actually enjoy driving to Oregon. Oh, the sun is right in my eyes. 320 miles. 320 miles? Is it 320 miles to Portland from here, Clyde? That sun is like, wow. It's bright. What does that say? You got a video of, what did you say, Volleys Beach? I got to get out of this sun. As much as I love the sun, I got to get behind this. There we go. We're behind the umbrella now. Kiowa Island. That sounds like a pretty cool place. So it's nice doing live streams outside. I kind of miss doing that from when I was doing them in the summertime. I don't really like doing live streams from inside the house. So now that we have good weather, we can do these live streams outside. Although I do need a tripod for this phone, Wendy's iPhone. I'm holding it up with my right hand, and it's starting to get tired. It really is. But we do have a nice palmy background for you right there. You see that? There's a nice cluster of Trachycarpus palms. So what are your temperatures today, Clyde? How warm is it down in your part of Oregon? Right now, it's about 50, shade temperature about 54, probably about 54 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. This far north in the Great White North. Somebody posted a video today. I think they're in Germany. They got some palms covered. 60. Oh, that's perfect. 60 is good. I'll take it. That's good barbecuing weather. How's the Wi-Fi? Okay. How is it doing the live stream? 82 earlier today. See? Latitude makes a difference. How's the clarity of this thing? Is it working okay? I did a live stream from the Palms USA from the National Arboretum yesterday. I found 2 more needle. Oh, nice. Hey, Palmy Pal. 2 more needle palms. Palms USA. That's awesome. I love needle palms. And ours are right now soaking up the sun. You had a frost this morning. Well, you know what, Clyde? I said earlier, I think when I go to work tomorrow, if we continue with these clear skies, there'll probably be frost where I work. Going to the Outer Banks tomorrow. Wow. Must be nice. I wish I had tomorrow off, but I just had 4 days off, and I got to go back to reality tomorrow. As much as I like my job, I really like being around here because I got a lot of stuff I got to do at the nursery. We're really busy at the palm nursery at this time of the year. Somebody was supposed to stop by today. You hate that? Somebody says, well, be there at noon today, and he never showed up. So anyway, I just carried on. I was busy out there. Joe, there is a CIDP and a trachea at the... Is there really? No way. But I'd have to bring it in the wintertime. I want to find some sable minor. Big ones. No way. Oh, a Soyuz. That's crazy because it gets cold there. Found a dead fat rat stuck inside a... Oh no, don't like rats, man. They're smart, but don't want them in your house, that's for sure. So the palms and the Soyuz, they either get protected in the winter or they're in pots and they bring them in, right? Because the Soyuz is, I think, zone 7. It's really, really stinking hot in the summertime. It's actually a true desert, but the winters can get really cold. I don't know how cold they were this year. I'm going to guess maybe minus 15, maybe minus 12. I don't know, something like that. So they are CIDPs in Charleston. They're not, I guess they would be CIDPs. Or maybe Phoenix sylvestris. I've seen pictures of them there. Anyone seen any sable minor in these? There's probably some out there, Palmy Pal. I wouldn't doubt it. I have to plant some more sable minor in the ground. I got a bunch and we got to pot up in the greenhouse. I'm eating my pre-dinner snack. It's an hors d'oeuvre. I'm eating some raisins and some walnuts here. So we have a lot of sable minor. I potted up 3 flats of sable minor the other day, the blue sable minor. Put them into 2.5-inch liner-sized pots. Charleston Zone 9, I've seen clean palm. Yeah, they would do good there. It's kind of like, the Oregon coast, except they get way more heat. Palmy Pal, I think they're both in Charleston. Oh, there's both, Jane says. She thinks there's both there. Sylvestris and Canariensis. But I think it's too humid for Phoenix dactylifera in Charleston. Don't you think? I know they get a lot of humidity down there. I don't think it would do good in Hawaii either. Well, you know what? I wonder if Phoenix dactylifera would do good in the leeward side of Maui. Picked up lots of nursery supplies and lots of pots. Oh, cool. Right on. If you've seen how many nursery pots we have, you'd flip. We have thousands of them. CIDPs at Myrtle Beach too. Yes. What's the best and fastest growing yucca for zone 7? I think Yucca recurbifolia. Yucca recurbifolia would be a good one. Dactylifera can survive humidity. It's just... Okay, so there you go. So in Hawaii, there's got to be Phoenix dactylifera. So you saw the little video I shot of our date palm, and it looks to be okay, right? And we'll see how long it actually survives. It gets cold, I'll throw a nursery bucket over top of it and see if we can keep that thing going for the long term. If it does die, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry over it. I did grow it from seed, and last winter, like I said, this past winter was so mild, I probably wouldn't have had to cover it, but to me, it was more like opening a Christmas gift in the spring. I was just curious, would this thing make it? How would it look? Would it look kind of crappy? It actually looked really good. There's no damage on it whatsoever. So we'll just see how cold it gets next year. I'll leave it as long as I can before I protect it. And then I think I'll do the same method. I'll put the plastic bag over it and then I'll put some stakes in the ground around, just throw a nursery pot over top so it doesn't crutch it. So I just fertilized it. I gave it some triple 18, and I also watered it with some Miracle Grow. Phoenix palms can get fusarium. Well, yeah, here I don't think so, Jane. There's no diseases this far north that attack palm trees. Not yet. Maybe in another 50 years, but not yet. There's no diseases. There's really no pests either. The odd time you will get sow bugs in there, and they chew on some of the new fronds. Some people underestimate. 6 feet, yeah. Yucca. Okay, Clyde, it's called Yucca recurvifolia. So it's called a weeping yucca. And they'll grow a pretty big trunk on them, and they do grow fast. I put cuttings in the ground, and they grow. So Yucca recurvifolia. Very hardy yucca. They look nice. I really like the looks of them. And I think Gloriosa would go good for you too, Yucca Gloriosa. But recurvifolia is a very hardy yucca, I think native to the southeastern United States. And I mean, they'll grow like 5 feet of trunk on them easily, 6 feet of trunk. And they do flower and they do branch. So you'll get a branch crown on it, which is really cool. And you can let them skirt. I liked ours when it was skirted, but Wendy took the skirt off of it. She doesn't seem to like the yuccas with the skirt. I kind of preferred it with the skirt, the way it looked more natural. So recurvifolia, Yucca recurvifolia. And I bet you your nursery has them. Your nearest nursery would have them, or they can maybe get them for you in your down in Oregon where you live. They're, I would say, probably the most common yucca you will see here in the Gulf Islands. Google it, Clyde. Google images. Google the hardiness on it. It's super cold hardy. I mean, you don't have to worry about cold. I mean, you're growing palm trees, so it's way hardier than the palm trees. So I don't do nursery. You don't do nursery? What? Clyde, where do you get your plants from? What do you do? Dig them out of other people's yards? Where do you get your plants from? Claudia posted, MeWe. Claudia Gilbert posted amazing pictures on MeWe. Well, I just got a message. Somebody just posted some amazing pictures on MeWe. So I'm going to have to go to MeWe after and check out the amazing pictures. I think Wendy's on MeWe too. I may. So anyway, like I say, guys, I'll be back on Facebook beginning of May sometime. Nursery. You do nurseries. You probably got nice nurseries where you are too. I know in Oregon, there's some awesome nurseries. I try not to go to nursery. Sure. I like going to nurseries. The problem is we spend too much money at nurseries. So we plan on going to the nursery and getting one or two things, maybe planning on spending $25, and then you come out of there with $100 you've spent easily on more plants you really don't need. And then when you get home, you're trying to find places to put those plants. That's the way it is here. So Wendy came home the other day with another Clematis armandi, and we're walking around the yard trying to find a place to say, oh, no, it won't work there. It won't work here. So I just planted it before the live stream. So another Clematis armandi. We just got a bunch of them in the garden. And if you like Clematis, go for Clematis armandi because they're evergreen, fragrant flowers, and they look really exotic. And like I say, the one over Gallery 59 right now is in full bloom, and they kind of smell maybe a little bit like vanilla, right? So try that one in your garden, and it should be hardy where you are too, if you want a tropical looking vine. Nice, long, leathery type, evergreen leaves, and extremely rapid growing. Evergreen armandi, Clematis armandi. Clematis, Clematis, Clematis armandi. Can't wait to get the Agave Perrii. Cool. Well, Perrii is pretty hardy. I don't know if you're going to need to protect her. Draw all the new spears in my sea. Oh, did it freeze? Palms USA? It must have froze, right? Now, Camarops humilis in a really bad freeze. You got to remember they're less cold hardy than Trachycarpus. When I lived on the mainland, I had the center trunks freeze out in a bad cold snap. The center trunks never came back on the two in the ground, but the suckers all came back. I had one in a pot, and I wrapped the pot, and I put it under the overhang of our house. It was a big pot. The temperature got down to 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit one bad winter. This was Zone 8A, 8B. So it was a Zone 8A winter, 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit, completely defoliated the palm, center spear pulled out. I thought it was a goner for sure. I left it, and I put it in the sun, and it actually came back. The other two in the ground, the center trunks never regenerated new spears, but all the suckers came back. But the one in the pot, believe it or not, survived 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit, 100% defoliated. Center spear's gone, and it pushed out new ones. So there must have been some life in it. The pot, I wrapped a blanket around the pot too. By the way, I'd wrap big blankets around it. Palms USA, next time try silver variety. No, I don't think it froze. I only saw 27. So, yeah, was it in a pot or was it in the ground? I wonder. And how long was the freeze? What was the length of the freeze? 27 Fahrenheit is not that cold. You know what I mean? Our lowest temperature here was around 27.6 degrees Fahrenheit. All our camera ups are fine. Even the camera up seedlings are perfectly fine. And, I mean, they seem to be a pretty hardy palm here on the Southern Gulf Islands. But if you're in a colder area on the mainland, a bad freeze can definitely nuke them. But the nice thing is they can regenerate those offsets, and they'll come back as a nice bush. I know of one in a colder area, Salt Spring Islands. You planted it years ago. It froze down, and now it's a really nice, maybe a 2 foot high, maybe higher than 2 foot, maybe 2.5 foot high bush growing on the side of the highway, or the road, the main road. I just put it in the ground a week ago. Maybe it's transplant shock. Yeah. Yucca glauca is native to Canada. Yucca glauca is very hardy. That's a narrow-leafed yucca, or small soap tree yucca, or soapweed yucca. I've grown them before. You know what? I don't think we have any. That's one yucca we don't have here. I had a lot at my other place, and I never brought any with us here to Salt Spring when I moved here years ago. But we have a lot of other types of yuccas in the ground. The one I want to try is Yucca rostrata, and that's another one that Clyde should try in Oregon. Yucca rostrata or Yucca elata. Yucca elata is spelled E-L-A-T-A, and rostrata is R-O-S-T, R-O-S-T-R-A-T-A, rostrata. Yucca rostrata is an awesome yucca. I sowed some cool palm seeds the other day. Awesome palmy pal. In extreme southwest Alberta, the Yucca glauca, prickly pear. Yeah. I went to Drumheller one time. See you, Benjamin. I stayed at the Super 8 Motel in Drumheller, and the entire hillside was covered in prickly pear cactus. I was with my ex-wife. I says, you know what? I got a shovel in the trunk. I want to go dig some out. She says, you can't do that. That was actually parkland. It was like a national park, but covered in prickly pear cactus. So, seeds germinated. Cool, palmy pal. I sowed a bunch of Sable Louisiana seeds. There's a hummingbird right here, right in front of me. We got these, like I say, there's some fake flowers in front of me that likes them. Yucca rostrata is everywhere here, very hardy. Yes, very, very hardy. So it's a good one to try in colder winter climates. There's some fake lays, Hawaiian lays, hanging on the umbrella here. And it's funny how the hummingbirds get attracted to it. So we have hummingbirds here year round. So even in the winter, you'll see them go up to those flowers and try to get nectar from those flowers, but they're not, because they're made out of silk. They're these silk Hawaiian lays hanging off. I don't know if you can see them. They are right. Let's see. Sable palmetto growing in the middle of a wet marsh. Cool. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, they can take some wet conditions. Right here. See those? The hummingbirds get attracted to these. The umbrella's closed right now, but anyway, they're Anna's hummingbirds, and they think they're going to get something from those flowers, but they ain't getting nothing. They're not getting diddly squat. So anyway, I'll stand right here because I can be more in the shade. I love the petticoat on the rostrata. Yeah, they are super awesome. And that's one yucca I need to get for our garden is Yucca rostrata. So they're not easy to come by up here, though. That's the thing. Not a lot of nurseries have Yucca rostrata. I had a chance to get one time. I went to a Palm Society luau/barbecue on the mainland in Tsawwassen, and the guy had a nursery there. He had Tropic to Tropic Plant Nursery. That was Ray Mate, Palm Society dude. And he had a bunch there for $40. And I walked on the ferry that day, and I had a friend pick us up on the other side. And I picked up the Yucca rostrata in the pot, and I says, you know what, I need to get one of these. I'll get it next time. Because I didn't want to carry it back on the ferry. I should have just took my friend to take it home. So are there any palms left in Alaska Panhandle? No, not that I know of. But Yeah, I hope these seeds so germinate. Really, they will germinate. Palmy Pal, be patient. Palms USA. I don't know if any palms were ever on the Alaska Panhandle. They're actually in Sitka, Alaska, and Sitka, Alaska is an island, right? Sitka is an island off of the Panhandle. I don't know if it's. I don't. I guess maybe you still class it as the Panhandle, but it is an island, so maybe it is still the Panhandle. And those were in Sitka, Alaska, but not that I know of. I mean, there could be, but I've never heard of anything. I mean, I could always ask somebody in the Palm Society. No, not that I know of, but I know J.D. Rowell. He was in California, and I believe he was the one. He was the one that planted those palms in Alaska. He planted them in 1992, I believe it was. They were featured in Hardy Palm International more than once, and they were growing kind of up against a building, and they survived about 20 years before they finally declined. They started to decline, and then they perished, I guess, in a bad winter. But not too bad. 20 years palms growing in Sitka, Alaska. I'm thinking Sitka, Alaska. They are all from 2019. What makes worry about they were sunk down when they 2019. So they're a year old, 2 years old, just about. Generally, Joe, do you more associate with Ontario or Oregon? I associate with Oregon. Well, Oregon and Washington are a lot closer to us. Believe it or not, if I went across the water here, I'm going to be in Washington State. Our islands are right across from Washington State. You know what I mean? I've never been to Ontario, and I'm sure Ontario's beautiful too. It's got a lot of beautiful places, but I totally love Oregon. The Oregon State is awesome. If I ever visit Alaska Panhandle, I will bring. Cool. Well, I tell you what I do. Wherever I go somewhere like to Tofino, the West Coast, or Port Renfrew over on the West Coast, I bring tons of palm seeds and I throw them around everywhere. Even the nature trail across the street to the beach. Scotty went over there. He says, "I saw the palm trees growing there. Do you like USA or UK better?" Well, I can't really say that because I think both places are good places. Because I like the UK, but I've never been to the UK. My daughter lived in the UK for, I think, maybe around close to 4 years. Maybe it was 4 years she lived in the UK. She loved it there. She worked there. I've never been to the UK, but I've been to the US lots of times. That's where I take my vacation. Fun fact, Alaska has by far the largest range of USDA hardiness. Is that right? A1A. So Canada goes from zone 0 to 9A. And Alaska probably goes to zone 8A, I think, right? I don't think there's an 8B there. How do you feel about them on it? I think it's a bunch of crap. Really, Duck Killer Clyde, that Queen stuff is just a bunch of BS. I think, man, she gets paid so much for doing nothing. She waves at people, right? I mean, I can wave at people too. I think she makes about $40 or $50 million a year. I'll wave at people too for $40 or $50 million a year. Really, I remember my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, was very British, and she had the picture of the Queen on her wall. And I know some people just love the Queen. And I just says, this lady gets way too overpaid for doing nothing. And she got offense, she took offense to it, right? I says, really, we're like this British Commonwealth thing, which I guess told the Queen to kick. We told the Queen, yeah, well, we didn't tell her to kick rocks. She's still on our, I think the only money she's on now, the paper money, is the $20 banknote and the $1,000 banknote. Every other banknote has somebody else on it. And all our coins do have the Queen on it. They have Queen Elizabeth. She's getting pretty old. And I guess when she kicks the bucket, it's going to be the King, right? The King is going to be other, but there's a lot of British Commonwealths like Australia, New Zealand, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands. Hawaii used to be too. They used to be, I mean, that's why you got the Union Jack on there. There used to be something associated. I haven't said it was not. I got once the B&B guest gets here, it's going to screw up my signal. So I don't know how long I'm going to go for. Maybe I'll go for an hour. And it's nice when the B&B guests go out all day, because sometimes they sit down on the sun deck all day, and I got to kind of tiptoe around them. I also threw out an experiment and put 2 seeds in wet paper towel in a bag. Well, I know a guy that apparently he said he germinated some take-heel seeds in wet paper towels, and they germinated overnight. I found that very hard to believe. I put ours in the baggie, extremely warm, in a warm spot in the house, and they still have not germinated. And I put them in there over a month ago and nothing. And he said he got his to germinate overnight. It's the same seeds. I have exactly the same seeds as him, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not a take-heel seed germinating expert. I think, you know what, Clyde? I think he must be BS. I've never had a Trachycarpus seed germinate overnight. He posted pictures of it somewhere. I forget where it was. And he said he put these between wet paper towels. British and U.S. territories are full of palms. They are. They are Palms USA, absolutely. And where my daughter lived in Cornwall, UK, there was tons of date palms. She'd send me pictures of the promenade lined with date palms, cordyline. Mine in a hot water heater. That's smart. In the hot water heater closet, so it's warm in there, Palmy Pal. They should do well. But to get a tequila seed to germinate overnight, come on, reconnect. Let's see here. There we go. I might have to cut this thing short, so I'm going to go into the house. Maybe the BB guest is here. He might be using internet, or maybe Wendy. No, Wendy's not in the internet. There we go. How many palms are on all of the... Oh, I missed that. Darn it. Just got a fire going. I'm going to sit here. That's very quick of these... Oh, I'm going to go see if he's here. I'm going to go up to my room and I'm going to go to the man cave and just see if he's here. Okay, guys? Wendy wants me to go outside. I'm just going to go see if his car is here. Nope, he's not here. Not here. That's a good thing. So I'm going to put some rice on in a minute. I checked them once. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Let's go look at our tequila seeds right now. I'm going to show you what they look like. And you can see that I'm not BSing you. They're not germinating. Okay, Trachycarpus tequila, January 2021. Are you seeing anything that looks like it's germinating in there? Nothing. There they are. And he said he got them to germinate overnight, which I think Clyde says that's BS. And you know what? I believe Clyde. I think that guy's pulling our leg because there we go. This is over 2 months ago or whatever, and not one tequila seed. And this one here, we have Sable, Louisiana. I just sowed these on the 22nd of March. So Sable, Louisiana seeds right there. So hopefully they will germinate. I've germinated lots of sable seeds. And then I got some more blue sable minor in this one here. And I potted up 3 flats of those yesterday. I've got some monkey puzzle seeds. Oh, you know what? They're starting to germinate. There's the monkey puzzle starting to show, guys. Look at that. These are monkey puzzle seeds right here. So that's how to germinate monkey puzzle seeds. And I gotta water these guys. There's the first monkey puzzle coming up. Yeah, awesome. 2 of those seeds are rooted in. So I gotta go water these babies, guys, follow me. The kitchen. Wendy's got a ripping fire going here in the fireplace. Awesome. So anyway, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think you can germinate Trachycarpus seeds in one night, tequila seeds, or do you think the guy's pulling our leg? I think he's kind of BSing us, folks. There we go. I'm watering. You to help monkey seed sprout. There we go. Well, that's what a monkey puzzle seed looks like. And you can see the little green, I'm going to show you right here. If you look closely, there's a little green dot coming up there beside it. That's the monkey puzzle starting to show. Monkey puzzles are slow. We have many in our garden. And the oldest one I planted in 1988, and it's probably about 20 feet tall. Between Haiti, Jamaica, native palms. Cool. I've been to Haiti, you know that? Haiti was a pretty cool place, except there wasn't a lot of trees there. It's like they clear cut it. I did Robusta in 12 days. You know what? And I believe it, because I've done Robusta in about 2 weeks. And Folifera come up pretty fast too. Varia navasana, pseudo phoenix. Cool. That's a cool palm. That's a very cool palm. I like palmy places. You know that. And that's why I like you guys, because you guys are palm nuts too. So anyway, if you guys ever germinate a tequila seed in one night, let me know, because I want to hear about it. You should be shooting a video of it, because to me, I think that's a miracle to germinate a palm seed in one night. I don't even think the fastest species of palm seed can germinate in one night. The fastest growing palm tree, I think, in the world is a tropical one called Pigafetta. And I think it's native to South America. Look that one up, Pigafetta, if you've heard of it. I think it's a pinnate species from South America. How long to germinate? Well, it just depends on how fresh the seeds are and how warm it is. So I'm thinking for me, sable palmetto, probably a couple months. In the warm. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't really remember exactly. Duck Killer Clyde. I missed that. It's too sunny. I'm trying to get out of the sun here. There we go. Sorry about that, Clyde. I missed that one. It's the sun was just blasting right in my eyes and it was totally annoying me on the screen. Oh, I'll show you something cool. Here's the variegated trachea. There's my variegated trachycarpus right there. It's funny, you know, you can grow thousands of palm trees from seed, and sometimes you get this mutated freak of a palm and it gets a variegated leaf in it. But unfortunately, none of the other leaves are variegated. So what's going to happen is that's probably going to just resort back to green as it matures. You are a palm nut. That's right. You have palm oil running through your veins. And what's not to like about palm trees, right? Palm trees are absolutely awesome. So, Joe, if this species germinates in a good amount, send you seedling. Cool. That'd be cool. Well, I'll trade you some seeds for it. When people send me stuff, I always send stuff back. It's a pretty cool little palm. I mean, it's very good. And I've had one before, and like I said, it resorted back to green. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I put it in this. This is actually eucalyptus bark chips with soil, with really good soil. And yes, eucalyptus bark chips, as they decompose down, they lose all their toxicity, so you can pot in them. Sable miamiensis, by the way. Cool. That's pretty awesome. You got to like that. There's a Washingtonia, you got totally sunburnt. So, because I had it in a tiki hut, it was in behind some of the palms. So when I brought this thing into the full sun, sitting out here, it cooked out of leaves. So there's the spear coming out of it now. They just look kind of ratty, so I cut them off. But there you go. So I think I should probably cut this short soon. Extinct in the wild. Really? Sable miamiensis, extinct in the wild. That is cool. Like anything that's rare, any rare palm, I love. I'm going to show you a cool palm if you can see it. Right down there is a Trachycarpus manipure. There's a manipure right there. And they seem to be pretty tough, manipure. And that's one you guys should try. How long do sable minor germinate in a baggie? And I've germinated thousands of sable minor seeds. I'm trying to think. Months for me too. In a baggie, probably 2 months if you keep them really warm. And I've had them germinate still over a year in a seed flat in the greenhouse. You know what I mean? They're still coming up a year later. So they've germinated, and then there's still seeds coming up in the cold greenhouses. Our greenhouse is not heated in the winter. Okay, if it gets really cold, we have Christmas lights, and that really doesn't provide a lot of heat. It just keeps it just above freezing. But right now it's cooking in there. So when they come up, there's still a lot of seeds that don't germinate right away, and they seem to go right through the winter, and then they'll be germinating like the next year. It's kind of bizarre. That's the way sable minor worked for me here. And yeah, I've germinated so many sable minor. It's a dwarf palm. The fronds look like a palmetto, but they curve. Cool. That sounds like a pretty cool one. There's one from Taiwan. And what's the name of that palm from Taiwan? Arengia anglerii. And that's supposed to be a pretty hardy palm too. I think it's native to the mountains of Taiwan. So Arengia anglerii is one you guys should actually try if you're in a cooler climate. And that's one I want to try here. If I can get it. I'm sure Phil Bergman has it down at Jungle Music Palms down in Westminster, California. He's got a lot of really cool palms there. I've got palms from him before in the past. You can see the madrona behind me? See the native arbutus tree? That is a native Pacific madrona tree. And the arbutus trees have just germinated in the seed flat, right? You can see them. Actually, I don't know if I uploaded the video, but we have a bunch of baby arbutus trees that have come up in the seed flat. And I sowed those last fall. I collected the berries from the wild Pacific madrona. That's the broadleaf evergreen native tree behind me. And now there's lots of them coming up. So extremely difficult to transplant from the wild, but very easy to grow from seed. You have to let those get root bound in the pot. So after a couple years, once they're root bound, you can slide the pot off and plant them where you want, but they need extremely fast draining rocky or really sandy soil. And they don't like extremes of temperature. They don't like extreme cold, or they don't like extreme heat. Tequila hardier there. I heard no. Okay. I heard no from the guy that grows them. Flower Shop Rob, I guess his name is. So I think he lost his first ones in Utah, and that's where I got the seed from that guy. So I hear conflicting reports. Some say, oh yeah, tequila are the hardiest palm. They're native to up to 8,200 foot of northeast facing slopes of the Himalayas. And others say, well, they're not quite as cold hardy as Trachycarpus fortunei. I don't know. I don't have any big enough ones to really put to the test here. But the thing is, this isn't a good place to test tequila, because I think tequila is going to be fully cold hardy here on Salt Spring Island. But if I lived at my last location, that would probably be a better place to test them. I could put one side by side with a Fortunae, and I definitely think they're a better looking palm, tequil. So I sure pray that my seeds germinate in that baggie. And I have to talk to that guy once I get back on Facebook, the guy that germinated them in one day. Should I protect my... I would. I would definitely protect it because Rose Shop Rob, or whatever his name is, he lost his first ones, I believe, in a cold blast in Utah. And I think he's in Salt Lake City. I'm not too sure what growing zone that is. They're native up to 9,000 foot. 9,000, yeah, I heard 8,200 foot northeast facing slopes of the Himalayas, so 9,000 foot's even better. So if you could get some seed from 9,000 foot, it would get pretty cold up there, right? And it probably certainly doesn't get as cold here as it does at 9,000 foot in the Himalayan mountains, right? So that's that's native. That's a native arbutus tree. It looks like a eucalyptus. The bark peels like a eucalyptus, and they're an evergreen. That's Canada. There's only 2 broadleaf evergreen trees native to all of Canada. That's one of them, and they're only native here. That's called a Pacific madrona tree, or arbutus. So let me grab my shoes. Let's grab Wendy's shoes. I'm wearing Crocs. That's one thing I don't usually do. But anyway, the trees are amazing. So they flower. They look totally tropical. We have them all over the place. There's another one there. There's a huge one there in the forest. And then there's big ones. Those are 100 feet tall, eucalyptus or arbutus trees. So we look up into this tree, and it is an evergreen tree, and the bark on it peels. 5,900 to 8,900 feet for 8,900 feet for that's way up there. And I heard they grow on cold northeast facing slopes of the Himalayas. These are absolutely beautiful trees and one of the most difficult trees to transplant. You know that? They absolutely hate root disturbance, and they need Pacific madrona need exact requirements to grow. I'm going to get a close-up shot of the bark. And the bark is amazing. So they flower. Now they're starting to flower. They get white flowers on them. And then they get berries on them in the fall. And the birds love the berries. So here's some peeling bark you can see right here. You see the peeling bark on these trees? And they're really gnarly. They're super gnarly trees. And this one is really tall. And they grow. This one's growing in rock. It's got some ivy growing on it. And it's a big tree. It's a beautiful tree. And we have a lot of them on our property. They're all over the place. So, like I say, the island here is covered in these arbutus trees and really good firewood. Extremely hard wood, like oak, and there's no pitch in it. There's no sap in it, which is amazing. So you split it when it's green. It splits a lot easier than when it is hard and dry. There's a needle palm. There's one of our Rapidophyllum hystrix. I really like this. Is the nice one. We have a bunch of needle palms in the garden, really healthy, growing. And this one grows in probably maybe half-day sun. It should be growing in full sun, but I think it's doing really well. It's a nice-looking Rapidophyllum hystrix, and hopefully one day it'll get a little bit bigger. And big ukes left on... yeah, there's one. The tallest eucalyptus tree we have on our property is about 60 feet tall. It's a eucalyptus spinning gum, a Perniana. But unfortunately, it's hanging over the greenhouse. So that one's next on the hit list. And I got buddy Scotty come and look at it as a tree faller, another Scotty. And he's going to cut it down for us. So I'm going to pay him. He's going to cut it down to, I said, leave about a 6-foot stump. And what's going to happen with that, it's going to sprout out of the stump. I cut down a 25-footer beside it not that long ago, and there's a stump left, so that will resprout as well. But like I say, you remember when I was doing my live streams and I'd point to the eucalyptus tree that was there was a big one, it's gone, and then the big cedar tree's gone. So yeah, I'm just kind of done with eucalyptus trees. Joe just took a video of some nice eucalyptus cinerea. Oh, so do you guys grow cinerea there in Washington, D.C.? You don't see a lot of them around here. There are some cinerea, but it's not really a super popular tree here. There's one that looks similar to it when it's juvenile, and that's the Perniana. Perniana is very popular here. Gunnii is popular here. Mountain gums are popular here in Salt Spring. Shining gum, that's the Eucalyptus nitens. Lots of snow gums. Parvula, small leaf gum. We have a lot of them. I'll tell you what we have. We have Gunnii, Archerii. propagate ukes. I used to do a lot of them. I don't really do it much anymore. I have one in the greenhouse. I got somebody wants it, so, but I really don't. I'm not really big into growing ukes by seed anymore. I used to grow a lot of them on the mainland, tons of them in my greenhouse before I moved here a few decades ago, but not so much anymore. And I used to just absolutely love growing ukes in the garden, but my mistake. I planted way too many of them too close to the house, and they became really dangerous. So they were dropping branches and just a liability, especially when you got people staying here. And if a branch falls on them or falls in their car, we're going to be liable for it. So anyway, they have been reduced to stumps, and yeah, they're going to come back. So we'll keep an eye on them, and we'll do an update video. And if they don't come back, hey, it's not the end of the world. So if you do plant a eucalyptus tree, make sure you plant it far from your house. I'll show you a parvula, by the way. My battery's going dead here on Wendy's phone. This is a parvula. We cut this one off. This one's a small leaf gum here. You see the leaves on it right here. That's called a small leaf gum. There are big eucalyptus gunnii at the Smithsonian Castle. Wow, that's cool. That's pretty cool that you guys can grow ukes there, eh? That is pretty awesome. You gotta like that. That's pretty impressive. There's a lot of eucalyptus trees on our island. They're everywhere. You see them when you're driving all over. So it's a pretty common landscape tree, but the problem people make, the mistake, is they plant them too close to the house like I did years ago, and then they just become a big problem, making a mess. The gutters are full of eucalyptus leaves, so I got to get up there and blow all the gutters out now that we don't have ukes. And even those arbutus trees are really messy too. They're always dropping leaves and bark and stuff, but you know what? I love them. Ukes are next on my, yeah, plant some hardy ones. And you know what? You can keep them small. You can keep eucalyptus small, only prune them in the spring and summer. Anyway, guys, I got to roll because my battery is dying here. Wendy's battery's dying. It says 10% battery life or something. It just came flashing up. So I'm going to say sayonara. Well, you're going to say aloha. I think sayonara is Japanese, right? We'll say aloha. And thanks for joining in the live stream. And make sure you join in next time. Maybe when I'm finished my course next weekend, I'm going to be at a course. I'm going to do the test on Sunday morning, and all day Saturday I'm going to be at the Rod and Gun Club doing the course. So anyway, maybe when I get back, I'll do a live stream. So you guys take care, stay safe. There's Mrs. T over there on the couch, relaxing, waving. And anyway, like I say, I'm using her phone. This is her channel, not mine. I've kind of hijacked her channel. The Cineraria are amazing. I just rised upon. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool because Cineraria are not super cold hardy. They're not the cold hardiest of eucalyptus. All right, guys, I'm going to say take care, and thanks again for joining in the live stream. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time. I got to make some rice for dinner to go with that chicken that she made yesterday. Clyde, Palms USA, Palmy Pal, Jane, Benjamin, Sandor. Hey, Wendy, Palms USA says hi, Wendy. Wendy, she's got to do a live stream. She can do a live stream when she's doing her potatoes. Well, I'm going to do some rice too. Buffalo skull. Want to see buffalo skull? There's Wendy's buffalo skull right up there. That's buffalo, right? Yeah. There's Wendy's buffalo skull right there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And like and subscribe for more videos here on Gulf Island Rock. And we will see you next live stream. I'm going to push this little X and I'm going to be gone. All right. Till next time. I always enjoy you guys commenting and joining in the live stream. It's always lots of fun, and happy palm growing, and see you Palms USA. Cheers to you, and come in anytime. I always enjoy, like I say, chatting with you guys, and I learn from you guys too. I learn a lot from you guys. I probably learn a lot more from you guys than what you learn from me. All right, so it's always fun. So take care, and we will see you around. Cheers.